Silksong makes me feel things in my pants I didn't know could be felt. I'm being serious. Every Shah, every Hegala, every Get Good couldn't have prepared me for how much life Team Cherry, the goats, the absolute blessing upon this world put into this game. Those 8 years of development are felt in every corner of this world. That includes the PvP level they give you in the beginning, competing against other players and the Steam network to get the game. That was genius. Once you actually get the game and step into Farloom, you'll instantly notice colors are more colory, movement is as smooth as silk, songs that NPCs like Sharma and Chakra are singing are absolute bangers, sound design is crisp with each surface having its own unique touch to it. There are also multiple civilizations here, towns that you can help slowly develop over the course of the game. Hornet Silksong herself is not just someone you control, she has her own thoughts and feelings on everything happening around her. She gets pissed when NPCs are being too freaky, she shows respect to the ones that are chill, she has a certain affection to the bigger, fluffier enemy types, which I mean, yeah, good for her, yeah. There are also things you just know Team Cherry were giggling with malicious intent with while putting them in the game. Like how everything deals double damage because, you know, this is Hollow Knight 2, so everything should do 2 damage. That makes sense. Or how they take advantage of the safety that benches provide and sometimes mess around with them, leaving me traumatized. Like my fault for thinking checkpoints were safe. Or Bilewater. Bilewater. I have so many things to say about this, but I'll talk about Bilewater more in a bit. And yes, I do have to censor the name because even the smallest mention of it reminds me of the whole ass Egyptian curse this shit placed on my brain. What I'm getting at is that everything that feels good, sounds good, looks good, and hurts a good amount is due to these 3 Aussie blokes putting their heart into this game. There's a lot of love put into Farloom, and there's a lot of things to love. This is a kingdom that's past its prime, but it's not completely gone. There are still glimmers of hope that it can be saved, and the story that this game tells in the little bits and pieces that you get really encapsulates all that love and hope. And the perfect cherry on top of all of it is that this game's $20. Like, damn, Team Cherry, 20? Take a piece of my soul too. I'll gladly give it up. Hollow Knight, the first one. I want to talk about that real quick. Now, everyone knows this game is a banger, but when I started it, I wasn't instantly hooked. Don't get me wrong, I was enjoying my time with it, but I didn't understand what the insane praise was about. Then around 4 or 5 hours in, I got to the Mantis Lords fight, and I was getting my ass beat by these guys. I died so many times that this NPC basically told me I suck at the game, and I gotta lock in and go upgrade my weapon. So I started heading towards the east side of the map, and what I was expecting was there to be a boss or like some special type of move. Keep in mind that every area I had been to so far was either covered in moss or stones or those stupid squid guys whose bombs chase you. So when I entered this room and was met with the city of tears downpouring in rain, surrounded by towers reaching insane heights as Christopher Larkin and Amelia Jones go crazy in the back with the best soundtrack in the game, I was blown away, more so than with those squid guys. And then Hornet's Silksong shows up and she tells you that this world is way bigger than you thought it was, and there's a lot of secret weird shit going on in the back for you to uncover. This is when I got locked in and started wanting to lick this game, and the reason I'm telling you this is because Silksong gave me this exact moment so many times, which brings me to my first point of the video. Holy shit, this game does not end. I just keep discovering new area after new area. Even now, while making this video, I'm finding stuff I never even knew was in the game. The goal in Act 1 is to get to the Citadel, and my playthrough went something like this. Starting off in Moss Grotto, I messed around for a bit, learning the controls and whatnot, until I moved on to the Morrow, where I got jumped by those skull things. Then I basically visited Chicago in the magma-filled deep dock. I was then turned into a slice of tomato with the amount of times I died in Hunter's March, courtesy of those red ninja bugs. Finally followed through my dreams of flying around like a princess in Farfield, explored the sorrow that Greymoor is shrouded in, unraveled the endless hollow night that Ballarat was cursed with, met a bunch of assholes in Shellwood, basically scaled Mount Kilimanjaro in the blasted steppes, and then with absolutely zero bravado remaining, I reached the Citadel. That's everything I did in Act 1, which took me around 9 to 10 hours, so I thought the Citadel would take me another 6 to 7 hours and then I'd be done with the game. But then boom, 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 more areas just kept popping up. Anytime I find a new one, there would be a secret path leading to another one, which would connect back to an area I'd already explored, and then I found out there's a whole ass secret third act. So yeah, by the end I was looking at around 60 hours for my playthrough. Team Cherry, $20, not 60. 20. Most of the magic in Silksong comes from discovering new areas. Moss Grotto and the Morrow serve as great introductory zones, as they ease you into the game, letting you adapt to the combat and platforming, which are both quick and require you to be precise. I'm telling you, that pogo dive, there's something addicting about using that. You also see the potential they have to grow into something that will cause you to throw controllers across the room. The music is still just as good as the last game. Christopher Larkin knows how to build an atmosphere, and he is twinkling in my ear right now with these tracks. And visually, the game is just insane. There's something about the art style that looks simple and complex at the same time. I don't really know how to explain it. It's like how the greens in Moss Ghetto are more green and how it branches out towards the upper side of the Morrow, which itself is mostly covered in stones, but it still kind of has this silver tint to it, and the lower you go, the more the seeping magma from deep docks is visible. There's also a bunch of folks to meet in these places. Bone Bottom is the first settlement you'll see, and I thought this would be your main hub area of the game, but there's quite a few settlements in this game, which really helps flesh out the world more. In the Morrow, you can meet everyone's goat Sherma. When Sherma sings, everyone must nod their heads, hit the jiggies, and listen, knowing that we were blessed with this melody. You also get to meet Chakra, who is the map merchant and an actual helpful NPC. And I don't know if this is recency bias, but I might prefer So far, everything in the game has been gradually building up and introducing you to all the mechanics and the world and whatnot. But it's a bit different going forward, so I want to bring up my second point for the video, which is the game's... Now, if the difficulty in the first 3 areas was like this, then the moment you get to Hunter's March, this shit skyrockets. It's like the first 3 areas were a Trojan horse to let your guard down, because now I'm getting jumped from every which angle. They're taking my health, my skills, my dignity, my clothes, man. I can't have shit in this game. Hunter's March essentially tells you that this ain't no Hollow Knight anymore, and everything is going to be doing the same damage as the Absolute Radiant. Why are these red ninjas posed up like they're the MCs of the game? It's called Hollow Knight Hornet Silksong. The platforming has you jumping on 6 of these pumpkin things, and I keep missing one, causing me to fall back down, and then these stupid bugs start slapping the shit out of me, and I want to go back to their mouth. And that's just normal enemies, by the way. They also have this mini boss who humbles anyone who thinks they're getting good at the game, and the savage beastfly whose name already strikes dread into anyone who's crossed its path. This piece of shit is not early game fight, man. And the icing on the cake, the cream of the crop, the semen on the demon is that this place is completely optional. Something I did not know until completing it, so just thank you, Team Cherry. It doesn't stop there, by the way, as Farfields has you fighting the same ninjas while balancing on lava platforms. Greymore has that fucking bird that I hate, and I swear it moves back on purpose anytime I try to hit it. Sinner's Road shows you what it would be like to bathe in the waters under the London Bridge, as anytime you fall in, you get infected with these stupid ass insects that eat your skill bar, and you're not getting that back anytime soon, so no healing for you. And then you got these big ass cucarachas doing somersaults with you in their mouth. Like, Team Cherry, I know you guys are Aussies and you might be used to these insects, but I ain't. Bellheart is already freaky as shit with everyone hanging around in the Silk Curse, and I thought this would be a good stopping point, so I closed the game, opened it the next day, and here I am hanging out with everyone else. You aren't even safe off screen in this game. And then Shellwood wasn't actually too bad. I mean, the spike guys are like but like, I think I was getting used to the difficulty at this point, so I'll give Team Cherry a pass. Blasted Steps has the wind smacking you in the face as you keep hopping left and right, hitting this guy 20 times while those red bugs are drilling your shit. Also, they do this really funny thing here. It's like absolutely hilarious. So, you know how in every game when you miss a jump, you restart or lose a life? In Blasted Steps, they decided if you fall here, you lose 2 lives because, you know, Hollow Knight 2 and all. Take the first letter from each word and what do you get? BS, because that's what it is. Now, they did patch it, so it does 1 damage now. But that was after I finished my playthrough. So like, I know it sounds like I'm crashing out, and I am, but not in a bad way, because I did actually enjoy the difficulty in this game. It's brutal as shit, don't get me wrong, but the challenge is pretty fun. And I think the main reason for that is the game isn't the only one that gets buffed up as it goes on. Hornet Silksong also unlocks a lot of different moves for you to mess around with. You have the crest system, which is essentially your moves and playstyle that you can find different variations of. You can be quick and precise, you can be hollow from night, you can be heavy attacks, and you can become a drill and finally take revenge on the stupid red drill piece of shit enemies. You can also equip traps and gadgets to level out the playing field, buffs to add onto these gadgets to make for some fun builds, and skills or special moves to sneak in those damages. There is so much shit for you to get creative with and figure out what playstyle suits you in order to get an edge over all the crazy shit they throw at you in this game, and you'll need every advantage you can get. Where most of the fun lies though is with the bosses. They are what I was most excited for going in this game, and they did not disappoint. The animations, the movesets, the music, it's all just like, it makes me just yay. Act 1 alone already has a strong lineup. They start you off with the Moss Mother and the Bell Beast, who are both mothers. There's a lot of moms in this game. Both of these serve as pretty fun introductory bosses, showing you that these fights are going to be intense, look clean, and have you bouncing around all over the place. Also, the way you pet the Bell Beast is by hitting her, so her boss fight was essentially petting her until she likes you. Which can also be said about the Lace boss fight, as she looks like she's enjoying this shit way too much. She is a story-related boss, and she appears a few more times to murder you, which is cool. Also, I love whenever there's a still camera for a fight. It just makes it so much more fun. You don't count, you dickhead. Lace has some pretty cool moves like a counter and this bubble thing where she combos your ass if you get caught in it. It's a pretty sick duel, but it's a taste for the more insane stuff to come. Fourth Chorus, Morwing, Sister Splinter, these are all just solid fights with a few unique things to them. Fourth Chorus has this animation that I don't know how to describe it. It looks like he came straight out of Cuphead. Morwing is fast, and this is perfectly represented in his music that has this violin that speeds up the more you fight it. As for Sister Splinter, I mean, like, she got the blonde hair. I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, where the game really locks in though is the Widow fight. Give me a quick but fair fight with fun animations and a banger track, and that's all I need. Widow is everything great about this game's combat system. She forces you to jump around the arena, sneaking in hits whenever you can, dodging all those bells that are coming at you horizontally, vertically, diagonally, octagonically, man. This fight was so good, and honestly, it doesn't stop here. Last Judge is the final fight for Act 1, and it does not disappoint. Judge over here is hitting me so hard like I committed every sin. I didn't want to donate those 300 shards to Bone Bottom, man. I'm already broke. The issue with Last Judge, though, is that run back. They didn't have to place it so far back. That's just hurtful. But there's somehow an even worse run back we'll talk about later. Also, since Last Judge is the boss for Blasted Steps, that means there has to be some bullshit involved, and that comes once you beat it, as it self-destructs, taking you with it. Like, come on, let me celebrate at least. There are a few smaller bosses that don't stand out too much, but even those have some fun little things. Like how Chef Legoli gave us this beautiful clip to use, which is just perfect. And he also has an attack where he's throwing ass. But to move on to more peak stuff, we gotta talk about Act 2. Now, Act 2 takes place mainly in the Citadel, and this is the best area in the game. It's not even close. All the savage beast flies and the double damages was absolutely worth it for the Citadel. It lives up to all the luscious, luxurious grandeur it was built up to. I went into this game thinking, is there a way they're gonna top that gorgeous feeling of seeing City of Tears for the first time? And somehow Team Cherry and Christopher Larkin did it. The Coral Chambers track is so beautiful, so majestic, so ethereal. Like, how can I describe the feeling it was giving me? It's like, man, it's like it's not in my ear, alright? That's the feeling. This is the best OST in the game, and maybe even the best OST in both games. The Citadel is massive, by the way. There are so many sections to it. Like, we got the main area where you platform and climb to the top. If you go right, you reach the settlement of the Citadel. If you go left, you'll get chased by these freaky ass things. There's a spa where our goat Sherma is chilling. There's a theater where you get to fight Trobio, who is so out of place from the rest of the Citadel. I absolutely love it. He's so flashy and extra. It's a lot of fun. Also, why do I keep getting glitched in the roof anytime I fight this guy? Is this part of the performance? And when you defeat him, he falls to the ground and tries to shimmy away. You aren't slick. I saw you move. All the way to the top left is the high halls where all the choirs of the Citadel are played, and you can hear it in the gorgeous music in the background. Chrissy, Larkin, please, man. Also, what correlation do the 1,000 spikes placed here have to do with the choirs? The Citadel is filled with a sense of beauty and royalty. It's grand, it's extravagant, and it's mostly a lie, as there's some freaky shit going on for you to uncover. And what you eventually find is that most of the Citadel's glamour is built off the backs of the citizens of Farlo. Right underneath the Citadel is the Underworks and the White Ward. The Underworks shows the vile conditions the workers of the Citadel had to live through just to keep the Citadel running. And honestly, you feel it as when you're exploring this piece of shit place. There's like 0 benches and everyone has that 9 to 5 look in their eye. While White Ward shows you how the Citadel experimented on its citizens, injecting them with silk, which is why everyone is laced with some of it in this game. And when Sherma was like, I'm going down there, guys, I don't think I ever sprinted faster in my life. I think the boss that encapsulates what the Citadel is all about are the Cogwork Dancers. These guys have already become a fan favorite in this game. And honestly, I gotta agree, this is such a banger fight. First, you get this dramatic ass opening, and then they start hitting you with the moves, forcing you to keep your attention on both of their attack patterns while trying to slide a few hits in. It makes for this really fun back and forth where it feels like you're dancing with them, but these two are like in their own world. Because do you see the yaoi going on right now? Either one of us could whip it out at this point. Once you get their health lower, they start moving even faster, giving you almost no time in between their attacks. And then they start creating shapes, bringing back the octagon and the cut you to pieces-agon. I'm just messing with you guys. That's not a real shape. Happy Friday, y'all. But just like every yaoi, they are doomed to fail, as once you defeat one of them, instead of the other one getting enraged and attacking you even faster, it just starts slow dancing to the now broken music. What? No, I didn't mean for that to happen. I thought you guys would die together or something. Come on, man, don't do the yaoi dance alone. Don't do that to me. There is a reason I said this boss is the perfect representation of the Citadel, because for how much fun it is, there is a tragic undertone throughout it all, and it gets even worse once you discover the backstory of the dancers. Majestic and intriguing with a messed up history is the best way to describe the Citadel, and what gets really interesting is when you see the placement of it on the map. The top of the map is where the Citadel sits, and everything basically revolves around it. To the left, we have the slab, which is the prison for the Citadel. Here is where you get thrown when you get captured by this dickhead, and they steal all your clothes and weapons. The payback scene, though, is very satisfying. I like that. But what this place holds is this game's best boss fight. Locked away in a vault, really similar to the Hollow Knight, is the first Sinner. I genuinely cannot find a single flaw in this fight. There is a certain state you enter that's only in this boss for some reason, where everything just works. All her moves are quick, but leave enough room for you to counter. They're flashy enough to satisfy the spectacle aspect of the fight. There are lore revelations that I know Mossbag is going crazy over. The fact that this fight is tucked away and is optional is insane. It's the Widow fight but faster, the Cogwork Dancers but more rhythmic, the Lace fight but more intense. This shit is top tier, man. Such a good fight. Alright, it's time. We gotta go from absolute peak to absolute tragedy. Now, Bilewater or Bilewater, I don't care how it's pronounced, does have its reasons for looking like complete ass. This is where all the Citadel's waste went. It used to be clear waters until the Citadel did Citadel thing, and we ended up with this. And look, I get it. It makes sense. It's just fuck this place. How Team Cherry managed to make a swamp level worse than Miyazaki's is genuinely impressive. You have the syphilis-ridden water returning from Sinner's Path, so healing's off the market. These bubble things that pop after one hit do make for cool platforming, but if you miss one, guess where you're landing? Every enemy here looks like the word Falgum. Like, it's the only way to describe them. There are dozens of traps placed everywhere because, you know, why not? We already put all the garbage here, let's add more. But the most unforgiving asshole thing this place does is the run back from the bench to the boss. Now, the boss Grawl the Great isn't too difficult. I mean, I still die to him quite a few times, but like, he isn't insanely hard. He does eat you and runs away quite a few times, but it's like, I've been eaten quite a lot. So the more stressful thing comes from knowing that if you die, you have to run all the way back from this bench. And by the time you reach the boss, you'll have 1 health remaining and you're not going to be able to heal. So Team Cherry, it's 2025. What are we doing with run backs in the big 25? I know there's a secret bench you can get to make the run back easier, but guess what? I didn't know that shit existed. So screw me for not exploring more of this doo-doo pile of an area. The only saving grace here is the music, which is somehow one of the best tracks in the game. I guess they knew how many times you die here, so they were like, just give them a banger track at least. I'll tell you how to fix this area. You just do a little bit of this and boom, it's perfect. I can't, man, okay? I'm losing my mind. I think I just need to relax and think of a happier area, like... Alright, let's move on to the actual plot of the game. Once you do all the quests from every NPC and wishboard in this game, you unlock a secret dialogue option with the shaman, and he basically gives you a trap to use on Grandmother Silk, who is the deity controlling everyone in this game and doing all the weird shit. To get to her though, you head inside the Cogwork core, where once again you get a top tier track and some really creative platforming sections. But with a few more puzzles and this really sick needle-line part, we reach the top. And hey, Lace is here for round 2. Her rematch fight is still just as good as her first, but now with even more moves to adapt to yours. Also, she's standing in the white field flower. So does that make her Gurman or the boss? She can parry and that shit hurts a lot, and then she starts tweaking out halfway during the fight. It's an even more faster, agile duel than the first, and the only problem I really had with the fight is that it's not as difficult as I thought it should be, but that gets fixed later on. Once you defeat her though, she tells you to go to the top and confront the deity who is waiting. So we head on up to face Grandmother Silk, and honestly, I don't know why I didn't expect her to look like a spider. Literally all signs pointing to it. This fight is pretty cool. Once again, it isn't as difficult as I thought it would be, considering how hyped she is throughout the entire game, but this fight is more so about the spectacle which it delivers on. It's pretty fun as you can see the traces of the first Sinner and Widow in her moves, but taken to a higher level. She forces you to be more careful on the environments popping in and out of the fight, and she has this grab move which has a really sick animation. Once you beat her though, you send her ass down to the abyss, but then she tries to take you with her, and then out of nowhere Lace comes in and clutches up and sends herself and her mother down the abyss. And then it starts leaking out, leading us to Act 3, which has some of this game's best content. Now the reason the abyss is leaking out is because Mother Silk is trying to protect Lace from it, causing the entire kingdom to get infected in the process. So we head down, way down into the abyss, but it's freaking out and you can't go all the way to the bottom where Lace and Mother Silk are. So the shamans tell you to go beat 3 bosses, all from the memories of how Farlum used to be in its glory. And these are some of the best bosses in the game. First place we go to is the Sands of Karak, which has this red stony structure to it, and that's pretty cool. But once you access the memory of the old king statue to see how it used to look like, it's just so gorgeous. I can't believe they hit this aquatic level behind a 3rd act. There's a reason I started the video with this, because this like genuinely threw me back the first time I saw it. You do fight like 4 different hordes with 7 waves each, and yeah, they're brutal, but like these are essentially the main fights, as the Crust King, who has a top 5 name by the way, just kind of throws spikes at you. After that you go above Shellwood for the next boss, but guarding the shrine of the boss is a dude called Seth, and when I saw it I was so confused. I'm like, why does he just have a normal name? And then this tragic music starts playing and I'm like, what's going on here? So a few years ago, a fan of Hollow Knight named Seth submitted a boss design for Team Cherry to use. He did unfortunately pass away in 2019, but Team Cherry not only put him and his design in the game, they made him one of the best bosses. Seth is genuinely such a good fight. It's this one-on-one duel against this person who has been standing guard over the shrine for hundreds of years. We feel the weight of Seth's long watch with this gorgeous piano track in the back that erupts into this beautiful melody as the fight goes on. Seth's moveset is also really cool as he's quick and hits hard. He can teleport around and smack you if you're not careful. He has the shield bash AoE if you stick too close. He can bounce the shield if you get too far, which he can then combine with the AoE Wii. It's honestly just a really good fight from start to finish. And it's a beautiful tribute from Team Cherry. I'll forgive them for Bilewater because of this. What Seth is guarding though is the boss Nihilith. It's pretty hard to top Seth, and Nihilith doesn't really do it, but she's still a fun fight. I like the fact that you gotta stick to the sides and keep going back and forth with her. It's also fun slapping the spikes back at her and then doing this pogo combo. The last boss is back at everyone's favorite place, now with the disinfected red ninjas. Like, I needed more reasons to hate this place. You meet a now fallen queen of the ninjas, and you get to see what she was like in her prime. Skarrsinger Karmelita feels like you're going toe to toe with someone at the same skill level as Hornet. First off, she's singing her own theme, which is sick, and her theme is the best boss OST in the game. Fighting her makes you understand where all the red ninjas got their dickhead moves from. She has the spinning move if you stay in the air for too long. She has the spikes if you keep to the ground. She throws discs and spins around. She's got some flair and finesse. She is literally beating my ass while singing this gorgeous melody. It is the perfect balance of difficulty and intensity, and I still can't believe Team Cherry hid all of this shit behind a secret third act. After defeating all three bosses, you make your way to the shamans, who decide to kill Hornet Silksong. So yeah, that's pretty sad. But actually, we get to see the memories that reside inside Hornet, and this is where the story of the game really shines. She sees three main things. First, little baby Hornet, who looks really cute playing with her silk powers, as everyone around her wants to embrace the silk side of her. Her mother, Hera, however, doesn't want that life for her, and even though Hornet can't remember her face, she remembers her words, for her to basically do her own shit in life and not listen to anyone. The next memory is Hornet training with the Queen Vespa, seeing where she got all her garamas and shaws from, and how she became so OP. And before you get to see the final memory, you see those stupid ass things, man. Don't bring that shit up again. We moved on from this. Anyways, the final memory is of the white lady, who had a hand in educating Hornet for a decent amount of her life. And she tells Hornet that she was basically dealt a shit hand being raised here, and she should just leave these kingdoms to ruin themselves. But with everything that Hornet's been through, all the teachings and lessons and loves she received from her three mothers, she goes against leaving this kingdom to end up with the same fate as Hollow Nest. So the white lady gives her the ever bloom flower, and we can now dive into the abyss. But just before you do, you have another conversation with Lace. Now Lace represents a Hornet who never really grew up with three mothers who cared for her. Lace is created purely from silk as a means for Mother Silk to grow her power, and Lace despises her body and her mother. And I think Hornet realizes this, and that's why she's so adamant on saving Lace and Farloom in the process. But even though Grandmother Silk is a shit mother, she's still fighting the abyss to protect Lace, so it really complicates the relationship. So we take the plunge and get to our final fight. Lost Lace is everything I wanted from the Lace fight. It has all her moves, but now coated with the abyss tentacles. This is by far the hardest boss in the game. This shit took me like 4 hours to beat. Lace is jumping around, throwing random abyss shit all over the place as she's poking you with her sword. She goes through 4 phases, getting bad shit insane with each one. This fight is brutal and emotional, and it's everything I wanted from the Lace fights. A proper one-on-one duel with the stakes set high as you fight with all your skills learned throughout the entire game. All the rematches, story beats, the stupid ass savage beast flies building up to this fight pays off beautifully here. Also, do you hear that soundtrack? Come on! Once you defeat her though, you can free her from the abyss, but you need a way to escape. And as one final act, Grandmother Silk sacrifices her silk for you to save Lace and jump your way out the abyss. But the Everbloom flower wilts away, and Hornet dies for a second time, only seeing night. From Hollow, our boy is back and he saves Hornet from drowning in the abyss. That's my goal, that's my MVP. Anyways, the last cutscene we get is of Lace and Hornet waking up. And Lace starts laughing, probably because what Hornet did was so stupid she can't understand why. And Hornet, look, I know this is supposed to be a serious scene, but this look Hornet has is so random. Like, why does she look so traumatized? I mean, probably because her abyssified brother who she thought was dead just saved her, but like, it's still pretty funny. Anyways, I like to think that this ending signifies a new start for Farloom. They are no longer under Mother Silk's rule, and thus can start rebuilding, maybe with the help of Lace and Hornet, who knows, DLC, maybe May 2026, I don't know, I just said a random date. But with that comes the end of Silksong. There is still so much I didn't talk about, so many bosses, so many areas, secret, but I think I was able to capture the main feeling that this game gives you. Other than endless rage, it's the understanding of the 8 years of development this game went through. There is so much love felt through the entire game, and Team Cherry didn't waste a second of it, even Bilewater. But I want to say one last thing before the video ends. There were a lot of comparisons between the first Hollow Knight and Dark Souls 1, right? So in Silksong's case, I'd say it's kind of similar to Bloodborne. You know, you got the more fast and agile gameplay, a lot of stuff about hunters, a freaky ass library with experiments. The reason I'm bringing this up is because remember how long everyone waited and speculated for Silksong to come out? Like the subreddit went crazy that one guy posted 1,693 videos detailing the news for the game. A complete respect for him, by the way. But since Silksong came out, and Silksong is essentially Bloodborne, that means Bloodborne 2 2026 is coming out. Thank you, Silksong. Thank you, Team Cherry.